Okay, so now I'm going to go to the resources center. So for any new business related documents, please refer to your resources center because that is the this is the most updated forms, so you cannot go wrong with here. All right, so please always refer for any new business to your resources center. So when you click on resources center, okay, there's a number of forms here which I'm going to go through one by one. Okay, so you can actually get all these new business forms, brochures, etc. All right, and even a user guide on how to do the IPOS. Okay, now first things first, I'm going to cover is the personal health declaration. So if your client has 10 staff and below for the company, you will need to declare their health for every single staff. All right, now every single staff will need to fill this up, and you need to scan it and upload it during your IPOS submission. But do take note, if you do this, please make sure the whole form is scanned properly, including the logos, the fine prints at the bottom. Yeah, the fine print at the bottom, it needs to be in your scan. If not, we will reject the form. Yeah, now PhD, once it's required, all right, the underwriter might accept or decline your case because there's no in between. We either accept or reject. So best, if you could, when you quote your customers, always take 11 staff and above. The golden number is 11 staff and above, because one is 11 staff and above, we will waive the health declaration requirement, and even they have pre-existing, we cover. Now do take note, 11 staff, yeah, it's not dependents. It has to be 11 staff and above. So that is the golden number. All right. Of course, if it's AIA Berhad, it's for SME Flex. For SME Flex I, you need to use the Takaful version. Okay. Now, this very important document, member listing. All right. Do take note, this member listing is where you need to key in the data for you to populate the age, the stuff, the data, the email, and so on. All right. First things first, the company name must be capital letters. All right. The policyholder name must be capital letters. Then everything else you need to populate accordingly. All right. There are samples up there. All right. You need to key in accordingly. All right. Especially for IC, there's no dash, and certain places like employee ID type and even the nationality. All right. You cannot see it here, because you cannot edit on IPOS. You need to email it to yourself and edit it on your laptop, on your iPad. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, there are certain areas like nationality and category and employee ID type. There's actually a drop down menu. All right, you need to click on the drop down menu and select. All right, please do not type it in. You need to select from a drop down menu. Okay, now if you're doing a quick quote, all right, doing a quick quote, you don't have all the complete information. All right, especially for SME Flex or SME Flex I for 50 staff and below, which is age rated, you need to know the age of every single staff. You can actually use this and populate three things. You can populate their category, okay, populate their date of birth, all right, the date of birth here, and their relationship. Once you have all these three information, you can actually use this to upload to your IPOS and create a quick quote. All right, three things, yeah, category, date of birth, and relationship. Okay, now if you're quoting for group term life with multiple basic salary, you need to fill this up. All right, you need to fill their monthly basic salary. If not, you can just ignore this and leave it blank. All right, but do take note, whatever is highlighted here compulsory except for this. All right, if you're not quoting for group term life, you do not need to fill this up. Yeah. All right, whatever is highlighted here as compulsory, you need to fill up. Most importantly is the email address and the mobile number. Reason being, it is required for My AIA app registration. Without this, they cannot register for My AIA app. And if the HR is very lazy, they give you all the single email or single mobile number, we will issue deferment. Yeah, we will issue deferment. So please educate the HR. You need to provide email address. If they don't have company address, can use personal email address and their personal mobile number. Yeah, and lastly, whatever is optional here, please leave it and do not fill this up, because any errors here will result in not able to upload your member listing. Okay, now second form you need to go through is customer due diligence. All right, this is a customer due diligence. All right, so this is where you need to purchase the SSM form of your client. All right, the latest SSM form, the company profile, and you can populate the data from there. Okay, so you need to fill this up. Now the tricky part is this beneficial owner. Just to simplify it, the beneficial owner is the actual person who owns 25.1% shareholding and above. All right, so if there's 3 shareholders with more than 25.1%, this person is the beneficial owner, and you need to key in accordingly their data. Yeah, cannot leave any blank. You need to populate the whole thing. Yeah, so All right, so this is part where the beneficial owner is. If you have any doubts, if there's anything you're not too familiar, reach out to your DOAs. Okay, inside this IPOS, there's also a guide how to fill this up. Yeah, I'll show you later. All right, now more importantly for authorized person, appointment or removal of authorized person, this I, Nicholas, and the IC number here, and the bottom here. All right, full name here, the Nicholas, the person I fill up the name there, he must be a company director or shareholder. Only a company director or shareholder as per SSM form can sign and chop this document. All right, can sign and chop this document. Take note, yeah, this part and the top part here, this top part has to be a company director or shareholder. It cannot be anyone else. As company director, shareholder as per SSM form. Yeah. So now, if let's say this director, Nicholas, wants to appoint another staff, or he wants to appoint himself as the authorized person, all right, then I need to populate the person's data here. So if the director were to appoint himself, he needs to fill up his own data. If the director were to appoint his HR, all right, to be the authorized person, then you need to fill up the HR details. But do take note, whoever is the authorized person, he or she must provide you a copy of the IC, and the authorized person is the person who signs your iPad. Take note, yeah, it's the person who signs your iPad. Okay, so please take note on this. Okay, and lastly, there is a checklist here, all right, which you can actually refer to what are the documents required and how to fill up the authorized person form, the CDD form, and so on. Yeah, so you can actually email a copy to yourself for your easier reference. Okay, so that's it about your resources center.